Don Jamieson.
Lindsay Hart.
I have to compliment you on your ensemble.
I wore my Don Jamieson shirt today.
When you're in Clisson, France at Hellfest, you gotta wear your Don Jamieson shirt. You can see people are already excited, the music's playing, the sun is shining. This is gonna be absolutely incredible.
This is seriously heavy metal Disneyland. Like, look at this. Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a movie set here. And we're gonna get to interview a lot of cool bands. We're gonna talk to Armored Saint.
Cannibal Corpse,
Twitching Tongues,
Ensiferum.
But most of all, we're gonna rock out. We're gonna get our faces melted, not by the sun, by the bands. And Hellfest 2015, here we are. Let's get inside now. Talk about your view of the crowd from the stage.
Because we know we saw it was intense.
Yeah, could be a cartoon character.
There's some interesting folks. We got some freaky steampunk fuckers. If you're a steampunk, just relax. Just chill out. What's your deal?
But there was like people dressed up as like Power Rangers. I saw a teddy bear.
I saw a Pikachu in like full sweatsuit. It's 1,000 degrees. It's 1,000 degrees. I just checked the weather application. And the sun it's fire, as you see from my hat.
A lot of people don't know in France, we're much closer to the sun, within 50 miles or something.
It's right there.
Yeah.
You can see it.
Yeah.
You can't always see the sun. Yeah, there's some freaks.
But good freaks.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think they were very responsive to you, which is good.
Which is sick. Yeah, I mean that's an interesting thing between playing just like a club hardcore show to a giant thing like this where everybody's actually looking directly at you the entire time you're playing. It's cool.
Festivals? Have you done festivals before?
Nothing to this scale. We've done a couple things in the U.S., but nothing. This is our first like open air festival. It's like
people are definitely digging it. I Instagrammed it from Metal Blade, and they were like, "Yes."
And we should give you a plug for your Instagram because you like to be on there.
You're hilarious on Instagram. Yes.
Hey,
Very funny man.
Thank you.
What is it? Where can we find you?
The Academy. Find me at Colin Young, but with a B instead of a U.
And lots of sexy pictures of you will appear. I saw.
That's a subjective opinion.
Well, I've seen you do things with a selfie stick that I've never seen before.
Good. He's making stuff up now. And
I've been making stuff up for the last 5 minutes.
all right, well, back to the best.
Yeah. No, because there isn't. See, I can go right back into it. There is an art to putting together a set list for a festival.
Yeah.
Did you get any advice from anybody, or how did you guys figure out, okay, we got 35 minutes or whatever it was, what songs are we going to play?
No, we kind of put together just like a normal tour, like headline set, and it was 40 minutes, and we were like, man, we're probably going to have to cut some stuff. And then we saw that we had 40 minutes, and it's like, if you're playing a fest like this in the U.S., you're going to get like 20 tops for a band our size. So that was really cool. And it's like, regarding the entire open air world, like I've been watching Dynamo videos since I was a kid, and it's just like the coolest thing in the world to me. So I basically lived that today.
Hey, it's Don Jamieson. I am here with Colin from Twitching Tongues, vocalist extraordinaire and hat wearer extraordinaire. We all have crazy hats, and of course,
great hat.
And John Bush.
Sync. Hi.
And I would say, it's one of those moments where you want to go, I'm here with the old school and the new school, but after watching Armored Saint, dude, I don't know how you do it, man. I mean, how do you keep that voice just well-oiled and pumping like you do, man?
Well, normally I wouldn't be drinking that much, but since we were only doing the one show, I figure I got nothing to do tomorrow. But
You were
normally
soaring.
I try to take pretty good care of myself these days. I didn't always,
Right.
but now I do.
When was that? When you didn't take care of yourself?
20s, 30s. Probably once I started hitting 40, I started taking back.
All right. Well, but this is good because this is Colin's first festival with Twitching Tongues, who are a new member,
Congratulations, man. Way
new
to
member
go.
of the Metal Blade family.
Awesome.
And I think it would be pretty awesome if you would impart some wisdom on him, drop some John Bush knowledge on his
Hit me
ass.
with
It's a festival.
Hit
It's
me with
not
some wisdom.
It's not a normal concert atmosphere.
Well, I mean, from what I heard, you guys did you play last night? You had a local show?
Yeah.
Right, I heard it was pretty crazy. So obviously you have a good, strong fan base here in France. And, I think the key to a festival is you just have a great time and make sure that you cater to a large crowd, because it's a big crowd sometimes. Sometimes you get kind of consumed with who's you're playing to then, but there's a big crowd and you just kind of work with all of them. And
do it.
You obviously are, you have a lot of energy, so from what I gather, so
Kinda.
keep doing your thing, man.
I'm getting fatter, I don't want to move around as much.
You don't want to move around too much?
You were moving around.
I was pretty mobile
You're more of
today.
you're a pacer.
I'm a
you're,
pacer.
You're a climber and a jumper, and I was with
cool.
your wife in the crowd.
What are you
strictly
climbing?
platonic, and we were worried about you.
Well, I jumped down in the crowd because I said, it was our one show, so I knew I could kind of give everything out, and I jumped into the crowd jumped to the crowd, and I didn't have the most graceful of jumps. I think I kind of fell a little bit.
The Russian judge gave it an 8.
Right, but I didn't break my leg like Dave Grohl, so that's what I was thinking.
Hey,
is
there
like,
you go.
don't break your leg, because then that would suck.
But also, John, I mean, one of the things with you, man, besides obviously, keeping in fine vocal form at all times, you also, your stage presence, it's like you really command a reaction from the audience rather than demand it. So if you could also give him talk to him maybe a little bit about that as well.
Well, I just think that number one is just play from your heart. Obviously, that's all I ever did.
You got to mean it.
Yeah, you just got to mean it. I think that as long as you go out there and you're sincere about what you do, the people will feel that.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only thing I've ever done. Even when I wasn't in good vocal form, and there's been many of those shows, sadly enough.
Same.
The reality is that
That's a lie.
No, that's true. It's true. But
Especially here. I don't know, something about flying here just kills me.
Because being a singer, you're the front man, but it's not always the funnest thing because you can't
Fucking
always,
stressful, man.
You gotta, you're always thinking about your voice, and I know it sounds like narcissist vocalist, but the truth is that you do have to kind of take better care of yourself than
100%.
guitarists.
Can't eat ice cream.
Are you lactose intolerant?
No,
'Cause
it's
that might
just
be a problem on stage.
something with dairy just fucks with me, and I lose my notes and stuff.
Yeah. So
Sucks.
whatever it might be. I mean, acid reflux is actually an issue for singers, and so you just gotta take care of yourself. We've talked about that, but as long as you sing from the heart, even if the pitch is off, or apparently Joey told me in the first song I was a little bit behind the beat for the first couple lines, and I didn't even know. I guess I was having fun. But whatever. Again, I think the key is to just be sincere, sing from the heart, and then people will feel that.
What's your warm-up like?
Well, I do a warm-up. I took lessons from this guy who taught a lot of various people, everybody from like Max Calaveras to Jonathan Davis to, I think he taught like Miley Cyrus even. So like, he's a pretty big name guy. His name's Ron Anderson. real expensive, so I stopped taking lessons because it was like $250 a pop, and that was
That's
way
brutal.
out of my
It's brutal.
price range. But
That's what they got paid to do this festival.
exactly. But you know, it was kind of like a warm up in the morning. So
Yeah.
I do a little warm up, like maybe a 20-minute warm up, and
Wow.
the equivalent to like stretching. Like
Do you do it right before you play too?
No,
or
no.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
That's not true. Yes, I do.
Oh, you better, because you told me you couldn't talk to me anymore backstage because you had to go warm up.
That's true. I do.
But now I know you were just blowing me off.
No, I do. I sing about 3 or 4 of the first songs of the record, the
really?
show. I sing like the first 3 or 4 songs, and then I go on. So I
Wow.
did about 15, 20 minutes before.
And also,
wild.
I found out from his wife that I asked her, I said, does John sing around the house? And she said, no, he just talks all day, just all day long, talking.
That's fucked
Well,
up.
I'm usually like kind of yelling at my kids, and shit really annoys her because my kids are actually pretty good, but I just have a barking kind of cadence. Hey, kid, do that, or Mama, you know, clean your room. I don't really mean it to be mean, but I just have the barking.
But she said you even yell at people at the window and stuff.
I mellow
Nice.
it out. I mellow it out.
About
a little
what?
bit. No, I mellow
What's
it
going
out.
on in your neighborhood?
Newspapers.
I'm too small. Like, I mean, if I do that in my neighborhood, I'll probably get my ass
You got
kicked.
that hat on though.
Well,
They'll kill
It's
you.
young punks like him in the neighborhood probably bumming you out,
I
right?
live close to the hood, so I mean,
Where do you
the
live?
Vons by my.
Where do you live?
I live in Mid Wilshire, but like by Pico.
Okay.
So like the
I live in Van
Vons-
Nuys.
Okay, so you live in the hood.
I
The barrio,
do.
the more like the barrio. But where I live, the Vons by my store, and then the store by my house got looted in the riots.
Oh, wow.
So
Oh,
that's,
shit.
Which I guess is
Which
cool.
riots?
The Rodney
The
King
new.
riots.
Oh shit. The OG riots.
He was 4, but
I was.
have you, so
You are, yeah.
in the time of being with Twitching Tongues, have you had any, you know, I know your
Have
vocals.
I been looted?
No, have you? Yes, have you been looted? You're in the music business, of course you've been looted. Have you had problems with your voice? Because I think you've
Absolutely.
kind of, yeah.
Oh, every time we tour internationally, something about flying just fucks me up immediately. And like 2 or 3 shows in, I'll lose my voice for like a week,
Really?
and it
what do
sucks.
you do?
Dude, like right, like
Because he sings clean. I mean,
Yeah.
they're kind of a hardcore band,
no,
John,
I heard
but he
it,
sings he sings clean.
now I have this thing called like Jello Revoice or something, which kind of helps a little bit.
Okay, yeah, I've heard
But
of that.
sometimes I can't do shit.
Have
Like,
you had to cancel shows?
no,
or
I
you
just
kind of
power through. Yeah.
do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and his brother also, they trade off a little bit
Yeah, he
sometimes
does
on
some
vocals,
stuff.
but he's also on massive amounts of steroids. So
Well, cortisone actually, I've been known to use it. It's actually an anti-inflammatory, but you just kind of have to be mellow with it. You can't overuse it, and you're supposed to, if you use it, which I have,
Yeah.
you're really not supposed to sing right after that. So if you're on tour,
yeah, you can't take it like A-Rod. You
What
know,
do I do,
You gotta
you know?
chill out. But
you'll have no sperm.
What do you do when
and
your
no-
voice is like gone and you have to do
I've
stuff?
had tours like that. I did an Anthrax
From
tour
the
one
heart.
time. Well, I did an Anthrax tour where I lost my voice like the 3rd show in. We were doing like a 3-week run. It was miserable. It was miserable.
Like,
It was-
it's because it's out of your control and it's just
yeah.
so fucking
I mean, I'd
frustrating.
go to warm up and it would be like, okay, let's see what I got. It'd be,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, and I mean, it's like it'd be like running a marathon with a pulled leg muscle.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't do it.
Can't do it.
So
And it's fucking Anthrax where people are psyched and it's.
I mean,
Oh.
I was unhappy. It
Yeah.
was a real. I mean, that tour. After that tour was done, I'm kind of not exaggerating. I was almost like, I'm done.
I mean, luckily those guys are understanding. So
Well, I mean, they felt bad for me, but the crowd, you know, I just kept telling the sound man, bring me down in
Yeah.
the mix. And he's like, you're the singer. You
Yeah.
can't bring it down. I'm like, bring it down, man.
Yeah.
So then people are listening going, does he sound like shit? Or is it just
Was it
really
just too low?
Yeah.
You gotta trick them. That's
but,
good.
But John, I liked what you said earlier, man. It's just if you show the fans that you're giving it your all and that you're coming from your heart, maybe it's not your best day on the vocals that day. The
Who
fans are gonna
cares,
cut
you know?
your break, and they're gonna let you slide.
Well, apparently they have a very strong fan base who goes crazy for him. So, you know, use the sleight of hand trick.
Yeah.
Version, but I'm sure you'll be fine. You sound good right now.
Hey, thanks.
And you're in Europe.
I got 2 weeks left.
Wear the
so-
mask. The Japanese, and they got it.
They
They're
figured it
smart.
out.
Yeah.
They wear the mask.
No, they're very
you know.
smart.
And they're
take-
killing it.
Plane and never fails. The person behind you is like,
Yeah, it's
You're
true.
like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, and take care of yourself.
Yeah, that.
In fact, we got to wrap this up because
No.
I got to get back to the hotel and take care of myself. So
We're done.
that's it. We are with the Mighty Armored Saints, minus John Bush, and Lindsay wants to address something about John's wardrobe. But before she does that, I think first of all, it was a brilliant set, guys.
It was a great set. Super fun. High energy. Really fun.
I hope you guys all had fun. Other than that C sharp where it should have been a C, Joey was flawless.
I know.
I don't know. Did you hear him hit that clam?
Yeah, it was a fart. Yeah. It was experimental.
It was my one clam. Jazz in front of the festival crowd.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Yeah, but no, brilliant set, and but yeah, we do want to talk about because Lindsay's into fashion,
Yes.
and we were commenting on John's ensemble.
What? Do anybody know the ensemble that he was wearing, or what is like the general style of the band now? Is there any input on that at all?
There is no input on that.
It's more like a style. There's no style.
All right.
So the guys wear black, and John wears mariachi pants.
Yeah.
And what do you call that? What do you call those shirts? Flannel.
And
I
flannel.
thought you were gonna bust into La Bamba grunge style with him dressed like that.
What's not to like, huh?
No. But seriously, when you guys do a festival like this, you got 40 minutes, but you have so many songs, plus a killer new album.
Yeah.
So, who makes up the set
Thank you,
list?
thank you.
How does that go down?
We just
Combo.
we kind of just it seems obvious because it's like we have to play the best songs that we've been playing for years and years and years. This is the best of sort of a thing. And 40 minutes for us is not very much, so we just try to pick what we think the fans want to hear, basically. And especially since we have never played France, this is our third time playing here ever.
Wow.
So we just kind of want to give them what they think, what we think.
What they
crowd is
think,
feeling it.
what they think that you think that they think.
Yeah.
Right?
Plus, Wins Hands Down is the new record, and we got to play a couple of those songs. We got Mess and the opener, Win Hands Down.
You came out of the gate with
Yeah,
new
it's
new
great.
songs,
Yeah.
which was great.
Reintroduction to all the fans out there who haven't seen us. Like Joey said, we haven't been here to France too much. So, just go out there, give them what we think they're going to love, and rock it.
Yeah. So how was the tour with Saxon? Oh my God, we got to talk about that.
Oh, that was great. Saxon was great. Biff is awesome. They were great guys. They first gig, they came in to the dressing room and they wished us well, and it was a great show. I think it's a great mix of metal and.
Did you get to drink red wine with Biff?
Oh well, I don't drink, but maybe he did.
It was more like tea, like they right around after sound checks, like 4 o'clock, 4:30, and that's tea time.
Okay.
So they've been walking around with tea, and they're just so classically British.
Yeah.
And they're so polite and they're just super gentlemen. They're just the classiest guys you'll ever meet. Love those guys. Awesome.
Now, when you see this Bush character with his mariachi pants and
All right,
his,
let's hear it,
you know,
Lindsay.
and his
I
Alice
want
in
to hear
Chains
Lindsay's
flannel.
take on this because, you might have some advice.
We
for him.
dissected it a little, trying to figure out if it was like an homage to the album cover or like what exactly it was. And we couldn't quite figure it out.
Yeah, there could be a little bit of
There
that.
seems to be a theory, that maybe because of the theme of the album and the cover that.
Well, I'm a little confused, to be honest.
All right.
But all I say is, hey, that's John Bush, and that's what he wants to wear, and we're all wearing black, so he stands out.
No,
Yeah.
he's brilliant, but do you guys he likes to get up to shenanigans during the show, like climbing the speakers, and he almost wiped out completely.
That was amazing, by the way. That was a high speaker, man. That was
Yeah. Well, luckily he wiped out on the low speaker first.
I like to see that stuff when I'm playing, and he's up there. I'm like, yeah, fires me up. So.
I mean, do you worry like it's going to topple over and then your lead singer's gone?
No, he should do it more. He shouldn't fall more, but he should get on those speakers and get that crowd going like he does.
definitely not planned out. It's something that's done
Yeah.
spontaneously.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Jeff were on the middle of the stage, and I went, "Wow, check him out! That's cool."
Yeah.
And then
so it was cool.
what was up with the White Sox today? Lindsay, you want to handle this one?
I mean, I have many questions, but y'all don't seem to have many answers.
There's a very good reason. My bag got lost coming into France, and it still hasn't shown up. So what you see is what you get.
It was still a great show.
I gotta make a comment. He was gonna wear a white T-shirt to match the white socks, and I was like, no. He left.
We have limits.
He left the black shirt at the House of Blues. We played May 31st, and I washed it for him, and I just said, hey, how about this one? And it worked. So
Well, I would say next time maybe leave the socks out of the mix.
Well, if I didn't wear socks, he'd be saying, "What's up with looking like Venice Beach guy?"
But it's France. If your feet smell, it's not. It's just gonna mix in.
I lost my bag.
What would have been worse, no socks or white socks?
Do you want me to really answer that?
Yes.
I don't know.
You gotta choose one or the other.
The white socks are pretty bad. I don't know. Maybe no socks would have been better, but
You should have gone for the Spicoli.
They lost my bag. It was a lose-lose.
no, I know, and I feel really bad for you in that.
And listen,
so
Jeff, we're
it's
not
okay.
here to insult you,
No,
but
not
while
at
we
all.
are, that shirt. No, I'm just kidding.
and
don't pick on Jeff. He's had a rough
unfortunately, our
time, that's
backdrop
okay.
was in the same bag, so
Oh,
that's why
really?
we didn't have our backdrop.
Oh,
You
no.
should have hung the socks behind you. But here's the thing. All kidding aside,
Yeah.
brilliant show.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for putting out another
So
great
fun.
album
Thank
and,
you.
Yeah.
and keeping Armored Saint alive.
Yep.
And very, very relevant in 2015 and kicking ass here at Hellfest. At the Ensiferum signing. This is the signing tent. Obviously, you can see over here all the bands that are here to sign. You can see in the background, besides the great band Ensiferum signing for their fans, you just see a sea of people. I mean, there must be 100,000 people here. This festival is killer. I mean, please, a heavy metal Ferris wheel. Sammy, right?
Yep.
And Petri.
Yes.
Singer, bass player. Congratulations, I heard you had a #1 album in Finland. Your home
So
country.
excited for you.
Thank you very much. It did really well overall in many countries. Thanks to you guys.
Thanks. Well,
Thanks to Metal Blade.
About that one was that what was the band who also brought out the album? Neljä Ruusua.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's let's say like mega huge Finnish band also brought up their latest album. They broke up like 90s, late 90s or something, so like a comeback album, and it went to #2. And on the third spot, on one magazine article, it was said, and on the third spot, as anticipated, were Led Zeppelin. We're like, How can you say that?
So, I mean, obviously that must have been really satisfying after you guys have been playing for about 20 years together to have a #1 album. I mean, your mom and dad must be very proud.
Yeah,
I guess so. Yeah, that's something that I've never even thought about. You know, if I think about I had 2 goals in life as a, music-wise when I was a kid. One was to record a real album, like in a real studio, and the other one, I want to play big festival.
Ta-da!
So,
Now we can fuck off.
Yeah.
Done. Retired.
Drink myself to death.
Obviously, the new album's phenomenal. Went #1 in Finland, and you guys toured the States as well. Talk about some of your impressions of America and Texas and rednecks. And
You did Los Angeles. Yeah.
Yes. It was a really nice tour with another Finnish band called Korpiklaani and Norwegian band Trollfest. It was really easygoing tour because, bunch of old geezers.
Was there a great city that surprised you when you played there?
Vancouver's hobo town.
Vancouver's hobo town?
I mean, it was in a quite rough area.
Yeah, it's like the worst street in the whole city.
No, in the whole country.
Really?
Somebody said, yeah.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Did you play in Detroit at all?
Not this time. We've been there.
Oh, okay. So Detroit's pretty run down.
Yeah.
It's like highly recommended that you don't exit the bus on your own. I don't know what.
With your makeup on in Detroit.
Yeah. It was pretty cool.
But in Vancouver, I just put my hood on.
Yeah.
Have a hair open and beard and plastic bag, and nobody noticed me.
Yeah.
I look like a hobo myself. Yeah, totally.
Do you find that? Your guys' sound is so epic. Very powerful symphonic metal. Do you find that it's becoming more popular in America? This kind of music?
Well, kind of. We were there the first time on 2008. We did a pagan fest over there. I think it's been staying relatively
it's been growing little by little, but that's what everybody keeps telling. If you wanna do it in North America, you just have to keep touring, and
the recommended amount would be like 3 tours in 1 year over there.
So let's see. I guess the next step for us actually would be to like something like Mayhem Fest or something. Really expose our music to new audience.
Go ahead.
Like we did Summer Slaughter tour, which is like technical death metal, and there were us. Nobody has any tattoos or anything. Other bands are like big guys tattoos. And we were there with beer bellies and
They play with kilts on. And stuff.
No, come on, look, you're not an ounce of fat on these guys.
Well, that was
we lost weight after that.
like fucking 20 kilos.
You have to trim up after that.
Yeah, but anyway, it was really good for us because there was new audience.
Something I noticed today at the signing was there was so many hot chicks at the signing.
Babes love y'all.
Does this happen often, or were you even surprised?
It's somewhat getting better year by year, I would say.
But of course, we're getting older.
There was kind of like no chicks at all.
Yep.
Now there's a lot.
Yeah.
Which is very nice, since I see shitloads of bearded dudes.
Even in a tour bus.
Already. And then if you have front row full of only those kind of dudes, like, not so cool. So,
What country has the hottest chicks?
I'm interested. Come on. Where you go? Who is it?
Hottest chicks. I don't know. Kind of hard to say because we see them everywhere.
Finland?
Yeah. Sorry, Finland.
There is good-looking chicks.
Brazil?
America.
States has two.
Yeah.
Canada has two.
The world is full of beautiful ladies.
Los Angeles?
Yeah.
Of course. All right, let's fire this car up and get over to the temple stage.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the festival. See you soon.
Have been on Metal Blade how many years now? All 13 albums?
All 13 albums, our whole career. We actually started out on the subsidiary of Metal Blade Records called Death Records, which I don't know how long that lasted, but that was the Eden Back to Life was put out on Death Records. But yes, Metal Blade since the beginning, and it's crazy. Our career is going on 27 years.
I mean, with this kind of brutal music, what is the key to the longevity with the style of music you guys play?
It's consistent sound. I mean, we've evolved obviously playing wise, but I mean, I think we're always playing basically it's death metal. We don't try to mince words, heavy metal, and we haven't really tried to go in any other direction other than just becoming faster, better production. Those are the key things. I mean, for us, and obviously we tour our asses off. We're out a lot, So, and the live show is a big part of, I think, what's brought us here. I mean, if you hear who we are and you haven't heard our records, but you see us live, I think immediately you're going to go get the record because it's just as consistent as the album.
To put out an album, as great as Skeletal Domain, all these years later, I know, a lot of the guys in the band write. Is that part of it? Is that everybody kind of contributes and does their own thing?
You're right, Don. I think it's crucial having multiple songwriters with our band. We're not relying on one guy. You look at a Skeletal Domain, and Pat O'Brien wrote half the record, and then you take an album like Evisceration Plague 2 albums back, and Alex Webster wrote most of the record. So I think that keeps us fresh, But it's all Cannibal. Whoever's writing, I think Rob, Pat, or Alex, or myself, it's going to be Cannibal in the end. Yeah. But it's going to be a fresh Cannibal.
And it's funny because you and I were talking before the cameras were rolling, and some of your early influences, people would be surprised. We were talking about Bad Company and and Kiss. Do you remember what your first albums were?
First album I ever bought with my own money that I earned was, well, I bought two. I bought Grim
Monkey's
Reaper,
Greatest Hits.
See You in Hell, no, and Stay Hungry. But I bought my own money. I had albums before that, but that's, but I went out and shoveled fucking sidewalks, and I went up to this record store and I got Stay Hungry and See You in Hell with Grim Reaper and Twisted Sister.
Yeah, my first one that I actually bought with my own money, and we're in the same boat there, is Kiss Destroyer, Don.
Yeah.
Growing up at that time, I mean, Kiss for me were a huge influence. I'm so glad we got to see him the other day playing at Grass Pop Festival. But yeah,
they were comic book heroes. They were rock stars. They were superheroes all rolled into one band. Because of your style of music, because of how extreme it is, I imagine over the years you've been on some pretty interesting bills. Is there any that stand out? Like
first tour that I did in the U.S. was with the Misfits, Anthrax, and Life of Agony.
Yep.
And the Mayhem Fest we did with Korn, and even the first one. Well, Slayer, it's Marilyn Manson was on that first in 2009. Right. We've done a bunch of tours with bands not in our genre, which is good. It's like this festival. There's every kind of metal you want to listen to is represented at all these festivals. This one as well. So
right, like
yesterday. I love doing it because you're not getting. And look, we love death metal, all that. But it's good to just hear something diverse. Like Kiss, they're not, I'm not he's huge, you know what I mean? But it was awesome. It was great to see him, Look, Morgan from Marduk, guitar player, I saw him walking by with a bunch of beers, and where are you going? It's Kiss! Right. And just keep walking, So, it's they're playing, and then we're playing, and that's night and day, so.
Yeah, like yesterday, you could see Satyricon and then walk over and see Slash. And it's great to have the variety. If you're at a festival for 3 days, you don't want to hear the same thing over and over, regardless of the genre.
I mean, you might, but
anyway, guys, keep it bloody, keep it brutal. Well, that's about it, huh, Linz?
I had a great time.
Unbelievable.
Such an amazing time. Who was your favorite?
Oh man, I tell you, the last band we saw, Cannibal Corpse, just destroyed it.
That crowd was insane. They were like pulling dead bodies out. The security was really working.
I thought the tent was going to go over.
I thought so too.
But there was so many great bands. It was cool to talk to all our fellow Metal Blade family.
Yeah, Ensiferum, amazing.
Yeah,
they were my favorite.
And everybody was great. Armored Saint, of course. What a killer weekend, ending with Cannibal. So let's hop on my Harley and get the hell out of here.
This is yours?
Yeah, come on, get on the back.
Are you sure?
I'm gonna fire this puppy up. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
All right, here we go. All right, Hellfest 2015, Metal Blade Records.
Thanks, Ross.
How do you start this?